Hi everyone, my name is Caio Silva Guiar, and I'm going to be talking about death penalty. The reason I chose this topic is because I've been and heard a lot of discussions about it. A lot of people are against and a lot of people are in favor. According to the website criminal.findlaw.com, some serious criminal offense and punishable by death, most often violent homicides, where it's determined by the jury that the convicted offender lacks remorse. Capital punishment, commonly referred to as the death penalty, remains controversial and has been outlawed in some states. Death penalty is something that started very long ago. According to the article History of Death Penalty Laws, the first recognized death penalty laws date back to 18th century before Christ and can be found in the Code of King Hammurabi of Babylon. This punishment started to spread and become more common along the history. More places started to adopt this method because they thought it was one of the most effective methods of punishment. It got to a point in which some of the places would penalize people with death penalty because of stealing, cutting down a tree, and robbing a rabbit warren. Nowadays things has changed a lot, and death penalty is not as common as it used to be. Most of the places started to abolish this kind of punishment as the democracy started to take place. People started to see death penalty as unusual and cruel. We can see how big the difference is by using some statistics. According to the article Recent Death Penalty Statistics, in the first decade of the 21st century, 551 people were executed, while in the 16th century around 72,000 people were executed during the reign of Henry VIII. The death penalty is an option of the states and the government to decide if it's allowed or not. Most of countries and states decided to abolish it along the time, but some of the places it's still allowed. In the United States, 33 states still allows the death penalty for certain crimes. In my opinion, the capital punishment should be allowed because it will guarantee that the criminal won't commit any other crime, it will provide closure for the victims, and it would be the fear the criminal fears. I have learned something in my life, and I think it applies for every kind of mistake, from the smallest to the biggest, and it's whoever makes a mistake once makes twice. I think this definitely applies to for the point I'm trying to show, which is why would the death penalty be allowed? According to penademorte.info, 78% of the criminals that are released from prison and go back to society commits another crime. The system in general is not good enough in jail, which means that people do not change at all during the time that they are in jail. Most of them gets out thinking in the same way as they got in there. So what is the reason of tolerating people that will never learn and will keep committing crimes over and over again? Capital punishment is the ultimate warning against all crimes. So before someone gets to be executed, they already had enough chance to learn that that they cannot commit crimes. Another reason is that capital punishment will provide closure for the victims. As we all know, whenever someone is murdered, several victims are involved in the process. And we cannot judge people when they say they want justice if we have never been in the same situation. I think the only way to release a little bit of the pain of the victim is with death penalty. According to the website lustverse.com, the victim's pain may not end with the murderer's execution, but the execution does engender a feeling of relief at no longer having to think about the ordeal, a feeling which often fails to arise while the murder still lives on. The last thing, and not less important, is that the criminals most of the times knows more about laws than most of the people. So they don't fear the law because they know that depending on what crime they're going to commit, they will not be in jail for a long period of time. And most of the criminals do not care about being in jail because they have food and a place to sleep for free. So I do not see a purpose of giving this privilege to someone that has not perspective of life and can just bring bad things to the society. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed